Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of TalkingWithHeroes.com talk show program. I am Bob Calvert, your host. Ron Link, behind the camera, retired Army Ranger, 20 years of service. And we're here with the 116th CBCT Cavalry Brigade under the command of the U.S. Division Center. And we have moved locations now. As you can see back here, we're at the East Liberty Mayor Cell on Camp Liberty in Baghdad. And we're back here with Staff Sergeant April Davis. Would you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing here?
Sure. What we're doing here, Bob, is we are visiting each of the mayor cells at the different camps that we have on Victory Base Complex. And our mayor cells are in charge of taking care of those camps, both logistically and support. They're kind of like the landlords for all the different tenant units and contractors that we have living at each camp. And so they work day in, day out, 24 hours a day, trying to make sure that we have all of the support logistically that we need for each of these camps, providing customer service for the tenant units that live here, and just basically coordinating with the force protection folks to make sure those camps are safe.
I found it interesting driving over here. That includes having a sheriff.
It does. Each mayor cell, they have a mayor and a deputy mayor as well as a sheriff, and so they make sure that things run smoothly on each of these camps.
Including how fast people drive by in the road?
Yes, they don't take lightly to the speeding, so they watch for the speeding as well, and they work with our military police to make sure that people are staying safe.
Okay, so we're getting ready to go inside now?
We'll go inside and we'll meet some of the troops that work here.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Okay, folks, we're now inside the East Liberty Mayor Cell. And if you could just introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, and how long you've served.
My name is Sergeant Brittr Haustveit. I'm from Boise, Idaho. I currently reside in Nampa, Idaho. I've been in almost 12 years, just short of 12 years.
Okay, and what do you do here?
I was the MWR NCO, which is Morale, Welfare, and Recreation NCO. And with the drawdown procedures, that has shut down. So I'm doing more of helping base cleanup, facilitate moves to pack all our gear up and send it home so we can check out of here.
So that would include like the internet, swap power, all that kind of stuff? That you were in charge of?
I'm mainly over the buildings, computers, other stuff like that, your desks, tables, chairs, everything that's inside a building, drawing all that stuff up, all the military equipment, accounting for it, getting it turned in, and getting it reset and ready to send back home.
We were outside earlier, and of course, this is one of those times when it looks like you got a little sandstorm going on, right?
Yes, it is. It's hot and dusty outside, and you just deal with it.
Yeah. That's what you do. You deal with it. So, what do you do back home?
When I'm not doing full-time military stuff, full-time guard, I had a construction company. I do stamp-colored concrete and decks and patios and awnings, remodels, interior stuff, concrete countertops, stuff like that.
So we were talking before we came on the air. This is a company that you now have to rebuild and kind of almost start all over again?
Yes, I still have a lot of contacts, a lot of customers that want to do some more business when I get home, but I'll have to start all over from ground zero, generating new work and stuff like that, and try to get another crew going, rehire people on, and stuff like that.
One big difference from National Guard reserves and the active duty Army is that you have jobs or businesses back home.
Yes, I mean, really, we do this. We're a complete volunteer force. We have regular full-time jobs. We don't get to put this on every day when we're home. I mean, it's normally 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. But this is what we train for. I mean, we have to maintain the same standards that active duty does. You have to certify height and weight, PT test, everything like that.
Do you have a name of your business?
Yes, it's Trail Creek Builders.
Giving us some advertising here now. All we got to do is get this out on Boise TV, right? Yeah. It'll be on YouTube and Facebook. But, yeah, it'd be nice if we get back and these are out there and you get some calls.
Yes, it would be great. I need to get my website back up and going and stuff like that. So
okay. When you do, email it to me.
I will.
Okay, email it to me. I'll make sure it goes right out with that on that video. Okay.
I will.
Okay. What about family back home?
I have a wife and 3 kids with one on the way. Mom, dad, brother, sister, aunts, uncles, I come from a very large family back home, and they're all looking forward to me coming home.
So you have another child. You'll get home just in time, what, a couple months to be there with your wife?
Yes, I will. My wife's due in December, so I'll be home for number 4.
You want to give a shout out?
Hi, honey. We'll see you soon. I love you.
And I asked you also earlier about care packages, mainly families sending you care packages.
Yeah, my parents and my wife sent me a lot of care packages, a lot of support. We've received a couple from a church group, and it's huge. It helps the morale with all the troops forever. I mean, it's little stuff, jerky, licorice. I mean, it just helps. It helps pass time. You know, and people care about the job that we're over here doing.
So even though we've been hearing about the drawdown, which we've been talking a little bit about, you're all going to be here for a little while longer, though.
Yes, we're here till end of mission, and once that's completed, I hope to see everybody home safe.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right,
thank you for your service to our country.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, we'll be back with more from here at Camp Liberty or Camp Victory. We're going. I'm not sure where we're going next. Here in Iraq, Staff Sergeant Davis will take us someplace else. We'll be right back. Well, we're inside now, and sir, if you could introduce yourself, tell us how long you've served and where you're from.
My name's Sergeant First Class Garner, and I've served for a little over 20 years right now, and I'm from Boise, Idaho.
You've served in more than one branch of the military during that 20 years, right?
I have. I was fortunate. I got to serve in the Navy for 4 years, and then in the National Guard and regular Army since then.
Okay, and then you had a couple of deployments in the Navy?
I did. I did some overseas Westpac trips, they call them, 6-month tours there, and then since then I've served this will be my second tour with the Army.
Okay. Talk about your 2 deployments here to Iraq, the differences. One was back in, what, 2004?
It was.
Talk about the differences.
Differences are stark. When I was here before, we were very offensively oriented, of course, and I had a lot of different jobs. You just had to do a lot of different jobs. I'm infantry, so on one hand, you know, we were trigger pullers, but I'm an instructor, so I instructed the police, I instructed their NCO Corps, and I got to do a little bit of everything while I was here, and it was great. This is a different kind of gig altogether. We're in an enclosed area. The access to the Iraqis is much different than it was before, and our interactions with their police and their army is much different than it was before. So altogether, the whole feeling of the place is different, and our mission is so much different than it was before. It's in a defensive posture, and of course our goal now is to try to force protect everyone here on Victory Base, and that's a much different mindset than we had before.
So you're not on offense, you're just making sure everybody's okay.
That's our job. We make sure everyone on this base is safe 24/7, 7 days a week.
Okay. And let's see, what about care packages?
Care packages have become very important even now. Little things. I'll grab one example here. Is this this has become a big deal to us, this Operation Right Home. I'll throw a shout out to those folks.
Please.
They hand make cards like these right here, and we get hundreds of them. And last time you didn't get email very often, you didn't get Skype, you know, phone calls were rarefied. And now all that electronic stuff is very available, but it lacks sort of there's a personal touch that comes with writing cards home to people. I can write to my daughter, it's very specific. I can write to my wife, it's very specific. And I think that there's an intimacy that comes with writing family. It comes from your own hand. And it's a lot of guys have been taking advantage of it, and a lot of wives and kids have really appreciated getting these awesome cards from these folks. So I've been pushing it out on my soldiers, and they've loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That's great. So what do you do here? What is your job?
My job, I've had 2 jobs here. I've been with a quick reaction force, and now I'm in the operations side. And on the operations side, well, it's operations. So we're the hub of what everyone goes to when they need support for anything, whether that's administrative or supply support, or whether that's technical support in the areas of the camera shots and the towers, and taking care of the expats that work for us or the foreign nationals that work for us. We handle all of that.
Sounds great. Anything you would like to say to the American people about, I mean, we have a drawdown, hopefully at the end of the year everybody's home, but right now there's still people here.
That's true. I think it is vitally important that no one forgets how many soldiers are still serving over here. And I know it's not on the news very much, and I know a lot of soldiers will post things, and I'll give a great example. Although sad, soldiers feel bad when an artist like Amy Winehouse dies and there's 4 days of news on it, but 10 American soldiers die and it's not in there at all. And for many of us, those are our brothers. Those are people we serve with every day, and they're not given the recognition they deserve. I don't think we want to advertise soldiers dying. It's a sad thing, but I don't think enough Americans appreciate how hard it is to lose somebody that you live and work with every day. And I don't think a lot of them understand how close we all are. And even the ones we don't know, we've been in the same dirt with them. We've been through the same training. We know how hot it is here, what it's like to go hungry with them. And when you have that bond and you lose that, it makes soldiers feel bad that they're not appreciated except for by this very small I mean, the community appreciates them, but as a whole, we don't feel that the same way. And I think that is something the Americans back home forget about. They forget after 10 years. I think it's become old news to them. So they focus back on the latest phones or some star that no one will remember maybe in 10 years, and we don't want to forget this.
Absolutely. I appreciate you bringing that up. There's also those that have been injured, the ones back home with PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and the families.
Yes, and the families are probably the most important part of this. That's actually more forgotten than not, because while I'm here and while my soldiers are here, we all have families. So now you've got not just one person, but you have 10 people that are affected by that, and then multiply that by any number you want, and that's thousands and thousands and thousands of people just in the Boise community that are affected. Or if there are, say, 3,000 people from Idaho serving in Iraq and Afghanistan right now, you can triple that, the number of people who are worried about their soldiers, who care about their soldiers, who miss their soldiers while they're here. And employers, and it goes on and on. Their church members, wherever they're connected in the community, wherever they volunteer, wherever they play, all that's missing right now. And I don't think people understand, unless that portion of the community is missing. Idaho's reminded of again 6 years later when we came back a second time. They were reminded of again what a big gap that is, and that's good, and it's bad at the same time.
You also, we were talking about this earlier, unlike active duty, you're a National Guard. You have jobs, you have or business or something that you have to go back home with, right? What do you do?
I work for the city of Boise. I work in the Planning and Development Services Department.
Okay.
Yeah, good job.
I know you're looking forward to getting back to it too.
I'm very much looking forward to going back home and starting the job again, but even more so getting back to my family and friends and all the things I love doing.
Speaking of family, I know you have a lot of pictures behind you here. Give a shout out to some of your family and friends back home.
A big shout out to my daughter and my granddaughter, Olivia and Gabby, and to my wife, who has been everything to me since I've been gone. I really appreciate everything you all have done for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service to our country.
Appreciate it.
20 years of service.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to another room here. We'll be here with more soldiers. Stay tuned.